Go. It's not making any music, but that's fine because we expected that, and there we are. That's our faces.
So the first one is it's a bit weird, isn't it? Recording when you can see yourself.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna minimise it.
There we go.
And we're just gonna bring it back when we need it.
Okay.
How you been, Bob?
Yeah, not too bad.
Doing podcasts again.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a very long time.
Well, for us it has, not for the...
Not for
when was the last time we put out a video? Last week? Week before that?
A video or a podcast?
What a podcast? We haven't done a video.
2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, it's just getting on a bit. People must be missing us.
They are, yeah. We've had questions thrown our way.
Yeah.
With regards to how are we? What have we been doing?
Not
We've been trying to record and film and do everything at once.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been trying to streamline. Well, I say you.
Yeah.
I've done very little.
You've
done nothing.
You're just the talent. You are the talent after all.
Yeah, I just turn up.
Yeah.
Just put a mic in front of me and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a story though.
Have you?
Yeah, here we go.
Hit me.
So, I went to Ireland, Bob, for the first time in my life.
You did?
On a stag do.
You did?
Went to Killarney.
Yeah.
All right.
Lovely place.
Lovely place.
Yeah.
Lovely, beautiful place.
Yeah.
A few things. Be real with you.
These are my people
things.
now.
These are your people, right? A few things that I did notice. Incredibly nice.
Yeah.
But like any time of day nice.
Yeah, maybe too nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So when I was there, you had that massive storm.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Big storm, blowing shit sideways.
Yeah.
Still nice.
Yeah.
Still nice. Even then, still nice. All right? And I'll hold my hands up and say, Guinness does taste better in Ireland.
Told you.
I would not buy it. I would not believe it. But Guinness does taste better.
It does.
In Ireland. Why?
I know why. We will know.
Go on then.
Because I'm about to tell you. It doesn't travel well.
But what does that fucking mean?
So what the Guinness is made of, like the kind of, because it's made with like a mulch and then you kind of like, they add water to it. It's like really weird how they do it. But that doesn't travel. It perishes very quickly. So the stuff that we buy over here is different because it's made to travel.
Right.
So it's not exactly like it is in Ireland, because obviously the stuff that's brewed and made in Ireland they can make fresh and just ship it out, whereas the stuff that has to come over here that you get in tins and even in the barrels, it doesn't keep well.
No.
So they had to change the recipe so it would keep better, but that's why it doesn't taste as good.
No, it does taste mild different.
And you do get some pubs in Ireland that have the imported stuff, if you like.
Yeah.
So you do have to still be selective. But the way you know that is if you go into a pub and they're selling Foster's and Carlsberg and that, don't drink the Guinness. Because it means that they'll have the shit Guinness. No, but if you go into a pub and it's like all like local brews and ales and stuff, then drink their Guinness, it'll be the good stuff.
Because we went to a few pubs in there, like old man pubs, and it was Harp, an okay lager.
Yeah.
Not going to moan about Harp. Harp was fine.
Yep.
Then loads of other, like, I never knew Guinness made its own little lager.
Yeah, so only recently.
Hop House, some
only
shit.
recently.
Crap.
Yeah, Hop House.
Crap.
I don't mind it.
Crap. Absolute fucking garbage. Absolute shit. Can't stand it.
I didn't mind it. It's not great. But I thought they've given it a punt. They've gone for it. It's drinkable.
But do you know what I think that is, right? For me, that's them going, we need a bit of branding.
Well, isn't it in the pipeline that they're making like cider or something as well?
Why?
I don't know.
Make Guinness.
Yeah.
That's what you're good at.
Made a lot of money off it as well. So like, just keep it that.
Why do you want to? I never understood that. Right? It's like Porsche makes smoking pipes.
Yeah, or bicycles.
Aston Martin makes safes.
Yeah.
Why are you making safes?
Yeah. Just stick to cars.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Honestly, like I don't understand it. I think it's like it's one of those things where I kind of like it's just this will be good in the gift shop.
Yeah, and I think it when you get to a stage that, like a company that big, that you kind of almost feel like you have to diversify.
Yeah.
Like, because we've got all this money.
Yeah.
Like, I feel we should have our fingers in some more pies.
Yeah.
In case the cars go wrong, which they're not gonna. But it's like it's almost as if like, well, it's a lot of the time though they don't even make it.
Yeah.
They just someone buys the right to use their name. So you might make safes, and you go to Aston Martin and say like, can I just put your name on it?
Yeah, like a license.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You know,
But that's my thing, right? With gift shops, the age-old thing that does one's fucking head in, mostly madly and deeply, right, is a gift shop.
Yeah.
Right. Here's my problem with a gift shop. Right.
You don't like giving gifts.
I don't. Number one, right? It's not. You don't. It's a gift shop already. For me, that's like a conundrum in my head. I'm thinking, so am I buying something for someone else?
Yeah.
It's not really a gift, is it? If I'm buying the gift, it's just called a fucking shop.
Yeah.
Number one, the name. Retarded.
Yeah.
Nothing is even gift wrapped.
No.
You know what I mean?
What if you don't give the item as a gift?
But you give it to yourself?
Yeah. If you don't give it as a gift, is it then really a gift?
No. So that's it. Number one, right? Number two, right? They're pointless. It's just another way of squeezing that extra 30 quid at you.
And I don't like the way you have to walk through them.
Yeah.
They're always positioned, so you have to walk through them. Yeah. It's like the zoo. I go to the zoo a lot, right? Because I've got a gold pass. I have to renew it, actually. It ran out. But I've got this gold pass, and I go a lot. And you have to walk through the gift shop.
Yeah.
Right? Which is fine when, like, I'm with adults. Because we're adults.
Oh, mate, yeah.
And we can walk through it and go, I ain't buying stuff.
Yeah.
You go through there with your kids, you're spending 200 quid. You're remortgaging to get out of that gift shop.
Yeah.
Winds me out.
It's the way I look at it. Like,
how many fucking dinosaurs can you buy?
No, I know.
Or stuffed fucking animals.
Yeah. Or like monster trucks.
Yeah.
Like you're a zoo, right? And it's the equivalent of like after an Alcoholic Anonymous meeting, an AA meeting, right? They go, how do we leave? Just straight through the pub.
Yeah. Go just left at the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Just left at the bar. Yeah. It's like it's fucking nonsense, right?
Yeah.
It's a very clever way of squeezing fucking an extra couple of quid out of you, right? The other thing I have a problem with gift shops, right? We went to Amsterdam not too long ago, right? And I kind of felt a bit, went to Anne Frank's house. Anne Frank...
It didn't have a gift shop, did it?
It had a fucking gift shop.
What did they sell? Just her book?
Her book in every language. Pens, posters, right?
Jeez.
I bought a little poster of her old man, Otto.
Otto,
her dad, right? And it's a very powerful image.
Yeah.
I'll show you the image. It's up there, right? It's in a bag. It's in a bag. It is up there. It's just in a bag. Right? It's in a bag.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought, like, how much more of a powerful... So as you walk through that house, right, it's surreal. It's really surreal, right? So you go in, you know what it was about, right? And as you go through, it's like a guided audio tour, basically.
Yeah.
And they kept the house in really good nick. And the story is a very powerful story. It's not like, haha, funny. There's no heroics in it. It's just sadness, basically, right? But it's an important story.
Yeah.
Okay, her story is one of many stories. Hers is one of the ones that got famous, basically. Yeah. Right? But it does put you in a place of kind of going like, you know, people are in here literally waiting to die. But if we found we're dead. And that's what did fucking happen to her, ironically, right? And then you kind of get to the end of this, I would call it an experience. So they kind of, towards the tail end of it, right, you see one of her diaries, okay? And you see her handwriting and stuff like that. And you just kind of feel like, what would you be thinking if you were at that age, at that time? It does put things into perspective, right? Once upon a time, 14, 15-year-olds, even 12 and 13-year-olds, right, were literally like, we have to hide in this cupboard because the Nazis will kill us. Yeah. Right? Whereas what kids, you know what I mean?
They're being Nazis, killing people on computer games.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Exactly, yeah, that's the thing, right? Wanking into a sock.
Yeah, I did a lot.
That's what they're doing, right? That's I suppose that's the kind of. So it just takes you out of that thing towards the tail end of it, right?
Yeah.
For me, if you want me to maintain that experience, right? Yeah. That exit should just be straight onto the fucking street. Yeah. Why am I going for a fucking gift shop?
Yeah, I understand why they're doing it because obviously there's upkeep costs for this place.
Mate, the ticket's 30 quid a pop.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Charge me more for the ticket.
Like, I'm surprised they haven't got like a cutout where you can stick your face in and get a photo taken. Yeah. As part of the family. Yeah. As they're hiding. Yeah. That's a good idea, actually.
It's a really good idea.
You should do that.
You could just spend like 5 minutes in a cupboard.
The Anne Frank experience.
Yeah, the Anne Frank experience.
Yeah.
Right, but it's like, for me, I was like, it's bollocks.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's you're literally profiteering off of a dead child. Yeah. That's the kind of what I took from it, right? And yeah, you're right. Yes, they have upkeep costs. They have, but like her book, right? Fairly successful book, by the way.
Yeah, it's done now.
All right. And you know the weirdest thing? It's one of the most popular attractions in Europe.
Really?
Mate, you motherfuckers queue for hours. That every year,
See, I know the end. I know the ending of the book, so I ain't too interested.
No.
I know how it ends.
Spoil it.
Yeah.
Spoil it.
You know?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, you know, the whole thing is very interesting. They got betrayed, apparently. All that sort of shit, which is fine. And I kind of go...
Yeah, they got ratted out.
Yeah. It is a really, really good experience to walk through that house and you kind of go like, fuck me.
Yeah.
This is nuts. Because there's nothing like that anywhere in the UK, maybe. Not that I can think of.
Nah.
Not when Nazis were bowling about hunting motherfuckers down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? None of that happened.
No.
All right? So you just kind of go, for me, that would have been like, right, that was it. That was your experience of this shit. Off you fuck.
Yeah.
Leave it there. Right? If you want to buy something, 10 minutes walk that way is the shop.
Yeah.
Have it there.
Yeah.
Give me the fucking choice. Or say, if you want to buy the book, it's available in all good bookstores.
Yeah, get it on Amazon.
That's what you're fucking selling.
Go on Amazon.
Why can't I buy a cup?
Yeah, like, and it's a bit of a weird thing to have, like, innit?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've experienced this and I've gone round and it's sad, and, you know, I feel really bad, and yeah, I'm just going to buy this plate and just keep it in my house.
Yeah.
Like a picture of Anne Frank on it.
That's the thing. Like, someone must have sort of said, right, kind of going like, right, guys, brainstorm, right? Anne Frank dead, merchandise, go. Like that must have been a conversation at some point. Yeah. What can we?
It's madness.
What can we put a name on?
Yeah,
bollocks.
It's madness.
Fucking
one good thing though, one good story I've got of a similar sort of thing, but it was at Fort Park or Alton Towers. I can't remember which one. But you know, like when you're on the rides.
Right.
And you're like, it gets to a point and it takes a picture of you. And then when you get off the ride, there's like a big wall in there with all screens with your pictures up, and you say, oh, that's mine. You know, and you can get a key ring and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Dan, you know, like Dan, he bought someone else's picture.
What did he do with it?
He just liked it, so he bought it. So he come out and he was looking, and there was his picture, him and his missus. And then I was standing next to him, and he went, can I have number 14? And this woman looked at him, and she was like, that's not you. He went, yeah, I know. It's just funny. I just want it. Can I buy it? And she was like, I don't know. I don't know if you can. And he was like, well, I want it. I'll pay you for it. So she was like, yeah, all right then. And he's got it in his house. Just a picture of geezer sitting by himself. Just like, it's quite a funny photo. It's just him like looking really bored, like really lonely.
Really?
Yeah. Dan bought it. He's got it in his house.
I've never seen it.
I was at it's not so long ago, and I like, opened the drawer and it's in there. So I remember when he bought this. Yeah. He's just bought a picture of some random geezer sitting by himself on a ride, looking all lonely.
But it's like, I don't know, what's the point in that picture?
Yeah. Like, obviously for Dan, it's funny.
Yeah. No, stuff like that I can kind of go, I can see the humour in that,
yeah.
right?
And Dan says, like, he looks at it when he's feeling sad. Yeah. He looks at it and it makes cheer up because he ain't this middle-aged man at Fort Park.
I can remember kids bringing them into school, right, just to prove they went to Alton Towers.
Yeah.
I went to Alton Towers. Bollocks. Look.
There's me
on
Oblivion.
Me, my mum, and my uncle.
Yeah.
That touched me. That uncle. Harvey Weinstein.
Whilst I was on the ride. His pictorial evidence.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Fucking pointless.
That's mad, isn't it, with all that? So, that's one thing I was going to bring up. If we run out of stuff to talk about, was Harvey Weinstein.
Well, let's talk about him now.
Yeah. I feel like we should go back to Ireland, though. We've had very little bit of Ireland.
It's done.
Yeah.
I'm done with Ireland.
It's all right, innit? Did you fly back from...
I flew to Cork, and from Cork we got a bus to Killarney, which took 2 hours.
And then you flew from...
Kerry.
Yeah, from Tralee, didn't you? Tralee Airport.
Yeah. Is that where Kerry Airport is?
No.
Kerry. Yeah, we flew back from Kerry.
So you didn't... I thought you were coming back from Tralee. It's in Kerry, but...
No, it was a very small airport.
Oh, it might have been Tralee then. Tiny.
Yeah, very small. Well, most of them are small, but it was definitely Kerry. Definitely Kerry.
It's the weirdest place. Like, as soon as they see my Irish passport, they didn't even look at it.
Really?
Yeah. They just went, yeah, in you go.
No, in all fairness, like, I mean, when I went through customs, and it was hilarious. It's like...
There is no...
It's like, do you have anything in your bag? No. Other than clothes? No. Well, okay. We're a bit busy today, so if you don't mind...
But I literally like put my hand in my pocket, pulled out my passport, and he see the gold harp on it, and he went, "Yeah, you're all right," and you go. Didn't check it.
No.
He just see that it said "Citizen of Ireland" on it. Yeah, and you go.
I feel like, but the thing is, I think like most. Oh, here's the other thing, right? Another thing that wound me up quite a lot is the amount of Americans that were in Killarney.
Yeah, like
no ban, like literally loads of them.
Yeah, well, that's like
chubsy wubsies as
it's
well.
proper touristy Killarney.
Yeah,
proper well, it's like where the Blarney Stone and that is, isn't it?
What the what?
The Blarney Stone.
The fuck's that?
It's like a stone called Blarney, and you kiss it,
and then what?
And you get good luck.
Why?
And you get the gift of the gab. Like what? Like an Irish. You get the Irish whip.
Can you best know the story of this kissing stone?
It was a gift. It was I don't know the exact story, but it was a gift from like a king to another king, like back when it was tribal.
Fuck me.
Back when it was
mugged off.
Yeah, and it was
I don't know what to get, Bob. There's a stone here. If you give it a kiss, right? I'm not fucking about. If you give it a kiss, you'll get a bit good.
And
luck.
it's like it's a window ledge or something in this castle. But to get to it, you have to hang upside down. So they literally like grab you by the legs and they hang you upside down, and you hang off the side of this castle,
right?
And you kiss it, and then yeah.
Do you know what I did see though? Right, if you ever, and it might be something to Google, is there's a not an abandoned, but they've shut it down. A psychiatric hospital, they've shut down right near some river. I confused it for the castle. Right, it's fucking stunning.
Yeah,
I'm not playing games. Look it up later, but like it's amazing. And the guys were like, because it's government owned, they don't know what we're going to do with it.
But there's a company that sell castles in Ireland because there's so many of them.
Really?
Yeah, like there's so many of them in Ireland.
Should go halves on a castle.
They're quite cheap. Like they're not as much as you think. There's like so many derelict castles in Ireland. It's ridiculous because everyone was a fucking king. Like everyone was. You'd have like two people underneath you, and you go, "I'm king of my area." Like, I'm a fucking nobleman.
Yeah.
I'm a fucking... Like, it was so tribal that it was like, I'm a fucking nobleman. Build me a fucking castle. So everyone had a fucking castle. And it was like, fucking, no, I don't know. I've got too many. Don't know what to do with them. Like, they're just falling down.
We did go through one bit that was rough. Like, and I kind of thought, like, this looks like these motherfuckers never left the Middle Ages.
Some people ain't.
Mate, literally walking about on horseback. On the highway. I'm not playing. They're on horseback.
Well, last time I was in Ireland, I was in Tralee and in Kerry, and we drove past this fella, right, and it was foggy as fuck, right. You could not see fucking 2 foot in front of you.
Right.
And we're driving up this steep cliff up this mountain, and there was a geezer there sitting on the wall, and we pulled up, and we had to wait for another car was coming, and we literally pulled up next to him, and he's like, "You all right, boys?" We're like, all right, mate, how you doing? And he's like, "Hey, you fucking about it?" Like, and the geezer I was with, he's an Irish fella.
Yeah.
Like proper Irishman, not like me. But even he looked at me and was like, "What the fuck did he just say?" Like, it was proper, like, you can't even speak English.
Wow.
You are that Irish, you can't even speak English. It was madness. And then we just went, "Oh, you're right there," and then then drove off.
Yeah, we didn't have too much of that. Like there was a couple of guys that was like borderline. You're like,
yeah.
When they got pissed, you're like, what the fuck did he say? But then you kind of catch the end of it.
Yeah.
Jimmy's like, sorry, pass me the beer. He wants his beer. Oh, thank God we kind of got there. But it was like several clicks and clucks and
See, I'm not too bad at it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all right.
Fucked up, man.
When we were there, I was there with someone from work, and we had to, I had to translate. I had to translate for her. She could not funny. Understand.
Yeah, I was like that at one point. Well, people, do you know what the funny thing is, right? The Irish were like that with Elvis.
Yeah.
They were like, what the fuck did he say? I was like, oh, right, yeah, no. Elvis says he went boom boom and he can't wipe his bum.
But one thing I do miss is their sense of humour. And if you're not about that, then they can come across as quite like this one fella in a pub, and he came over and he was proper drunk, right? But he was all right. He was being all right in that, and he came over and he was talking to us all in that, and then he said something to the girl that I was with, and she sort of had a dig back. I can't remember exactly what was said, but he had a pop at her for being English. And like jokingly, so she had to dig back about him being Irish. And he looked at her, and then he looked at me, and he went, "Would you be offended if I give you one a headbutt?" I was like, "Well," he went, "if I just headbutt her, would you be offended? I went, no, crack on, you're all right. He went, I may just do that. Everyone else just fed about laughing, but she was like, oh shit, he's going to headbutt me. And I was like, no, he's joking. Like, he's not actually going to headbutt you.
Yeah.
Like, it's a joke. And that's the thing. Like, if you're not of that kind of mentality that they're of how they're like, because it's weird. You think that everyone knows each other because here we keep ourselves to ourselves. So like a bloke will come up and he'll barge someone, and then he'll turn around and he'll like go, hey, fucking and all this shit, and then they'll like be hugging and fucking buying each other a drink and that. And you think, oh, he must know him. That must, And they go, no, I don't know who he is. He'll come back, buy him a drink, and they go, oh, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, Northerners do that as well. I think it's Southern. I think it's like a London, East Anglia
yeah, whereas
thing.
we keep ourselves to ourselves. And if someone tries to get in our group, we're like, who the fuck are you, mate? Like, fuck off. Like, do one. And it kind of, it worries us. Whereas, over there, it's like, just everyone just fucking gets involved.
Yeah.
And you can be talking to one person 1 minute and another person, and it's just...
Yeah, because I think most of us, right, if you think about it, we don't make a lot of new friends.
No.
After about the age of 22.
Yeah.
You're not making 10 new mates.
No.
You're not, unless
if
you move country.
And if you are, it takes a long time to build that. Once you get past like 22, it takes you a long time to... Like Elvis is probably the newest friend I have.
Yeah.
And that's taken a number of years to get to that level.
Yeah. He's a good guy though.
He is.
But,
I like him.
No, I think that's
but
the thing.
But all of my mates I've known, most of them I've known since school.
Yeah.
But maybe that is because I haven't moved away and there's no reason to make new friends.
Yeah, and you've had there's a lot of acquaintances.
Yeah, like people from work you don't class as friends.
Yeah, see, like there's a couple of guys that I would class as mates from work, to be honest with you, and that for me is very rare because I'm not easy to get along with.
No.
Right, especially at work. Especially at work, Bob. Focus, Bob, focus. And a couple of them came to my wedding and all that sort of stuff, so that was nice.
Yeah.
And then at my current place now, if I'm being brutally honest, ironically, it's probably my boss.
Yeah. See, I get on really well with my bosses.
I get on really well with him. I've got a lot of time for him. And there's two. There's Steve and Phil. But like, Phil, I can probably call him now. But like, all right.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? Nothing, just want to chat.
Yeah.
How you been? Yeah, I'm all right. How's work? Shit. Everything all right? Yeah, I'm good. See you tomorrow. All right, bye. Literally, like, and he'd be like, no, nothing weird.
Yeah.
If I text him now saying, I'm not going to be available till 12 o'clock tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably a good reason. I'll find out later.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I kind of go, yeah, he's all right. But do you know the fact, also outside of work, he's got a wicked good sense of humour, doesn't take himself too seriously. But when it's work time, it's work time. When it's playtime, it's playtime. Do you know what I mean? But he's one of those ones that you can be very open with.
Yeah.
And he won't hold anything against you, which I think is really important.
Yeah, my bosses are like that. It's quite good that I can... It's really weird as well because people, like especially new people, they take it the wrong way because they'll see sort of like me who's been there, since the beginning, and if like I speak to them differently than you should speak to your boss.
Yeah.
And sort of new people take that the wrong way, and as if they can do that, and it's like, no, you haven't earned that right yet. Like they're laid back and they're easygoing, and they get but like it's taken me a few years to get to that level where I can talk to them like that.
It's a difficult balance, isn't it? Because they say that, I'll be honest, I think once upon a time I probably made the mistake of becoming too close to the senior people at work.
Yeah.
It's because like after a while, especially in London, it's very social.
Yeah.
And then you can quickly realise like, oh shit, I'm the only one here who's not of a senior calibre.
Yeah.
And I'm just here because I'm a laugh.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
So now when things start happening around you, you kind of go like, are we supposed to be are we supposed to be friends? Like should there be like a little like a line we really shouldn't cross? And so I think I then kind of like proper step back.
Well, I did that because one of my bosses now, one of the owners, I was mates with before I worked for him. Like he taught me to do fibre optics and stuff. Like I've known him since I was like 17, 18. But I used to meet him for a drink every Sunday, or at least once a week we'd meet for a drink, Whereas I kind of knocked that on the head after a while once I'd started working for his company because I thought, this has just got weird now. Although, like, you know, I'd still class him as a mate and, you know, but I just found it weird. And then you get that thing of, like, people think you're being favorited because you're mates. So I wanted to distance myself from that, and I didn't want it to, like, sort of look like I was there just because I was his mate. I wanted it to be there because I was there because I was, you know, actually doing something.
It's a falsehood and a distinction people make very quickly when they don't really have much else to. To
and I didn't want to put him in a position that if it ever come a time where he had to get rid of me, I didn't want to make it awkward for him because it's his company at the end of the day and he does what he wants.
And a good leader won't find it awkward. Like, put it this way, right? I reckon there's probably been, if I'm honest, let me think. I've worked at a lot of places and I've seen a lot of bosses. By definition, my job, you go and see a lot of, like, decision makers and stuff like that. And I reckon on my one hand, I can count the people. I'm meeting one of them. One of my very first places when I was at Deloitte, a guy called Maz. And I've spoken about him before. But I fucking hated him.
Yeah.
Maz, he was this, like, 5'10", maybe 5'11", like, skinny Asian guy.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember, like, he interviewed me and he put me through my paces, man. He did some fucking, like, I was like 18, 19. And he was like, so I'm going to pretend to be a distressed user.
Oh, I fucking hate it when they do that.
And you're going to have to try and calm me down. And I was like, come on, mate. Yeah. Do we have to do this?
Yeah. I hate that role-playing shit.
Man. And I was sitting there, right, and I was like, I've never been to a place like this before. And you're at Deloitte, one of the biggest companies on the planet. Right? One of the big five, one of the big three, you know? And here you are, like, you want to get in, you want to work here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And he's going off. This fucking guy's going off, right? He's going off. And I think over time, his way was, like, a bit weirdly, right? And he might not admit it himself, was a little bit like Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
You know, he won't call you a cunt, but he's going to call you a cunt for a reason because you are being a cunt.
Yeah,
and do you know the most annoying thing he ever fucking did, right? He'd bollock you for saying, and you go, there's no way in fucking hell I did that.
Yeah.
And you are certain.
Yeah.
And he just slides saying, and you go, fuck. He's got me.
Yeah.
He's fucking got me. He's absolutely fucking got me, right?
Yeah.
There were times when he made mistakes where he owned up to it, right? But I think he's one of those guys, right, where you didn't know how much you needed him. Because he left and he went off to do something else in the business, right? And when he left,
just went tits up.
It was like everything was falling apart. We didn't realise the battles he fought for us. Because in all fairness, right, like, and I think this is one thing that a lot of the guys maybe didn't give him credit for. But it's only way after I found out where he would, for example, make sure we don't see certain things or hear certain things within our little IT space. And we just bat things away constantly, right? My team's not doing that. My team's not doing that. My team's not doing that. We'll do this, but only this bit, and that's it. And if anyone deviates from that, he's fucking on them. Yeah. Right? And he had really high standards the whole time, which can come across like he's an asshole.
Yeah.
But he just wants the best, right? And he portrayed himself the best. That fucking guy who was in IT wore a 3-piece suit every day of his fucking life.
Yeah.
Every day. He looked $1 million, no matter what time of day it is. You could be in at 5 a.m. He's looking like a boss.
Yeah.
Right? Which in itself kind of pissed me off, because I've got a hatred for a suit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like this arrogant, I thought he was arrogant little fucking 5-foot saying Asian geezer bossing me about. I'm thinking, fuck this guy. And it's when he left that you realise that actually.
Yeah.
He was
that's like, was it?
Worth his weight in gold.
Was it Steve Jobs said it, and it was something along the lines of, if you want to be a successful business owner, you have to be prepared to upset people.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, you know, oh, it's all right. Yeah, don't worry about it. Oh, we all make mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a certain element of that, but eventually you have to be like, no, fuck you. You fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
you got to own it as well. You got to wear it.
Yeah.
You know, as an individual, you got to wear it. But I think the reason I'm like, and he doesn't really know. I'm meeting up with him. He works for KPMG. I'm meeting up with him in a couple of weeks. It's like, it kind of like 2 years, 3 years later, I was sitting in a meeting room, and someone said something, and it was like, oh, fucking hell, Maz was right.
Mm.
And something else, like, Maz told me this would happen. And, like, I did this and I did... It's like, fucking hell, he's right. He's right. Because a lot of stuff he said resonated. And me and him clashed like mad at some point. Because I then worked again for him, but just he and I.
Yeah.
We worked in a room together.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, oh, I don't know how this is going to go. Because like, he knew he had me at every corner, basically. His levels are so much higher than mine.
Yeah.
And they will be. If this guy's got like 10 years experience on you and you're 21, right?
Yeah.
You're trying to impress and you're trying to show off and it just wasn't working. And I'm quite, at the time, way more arrogant and flamboyant than I am now. Right? And Maz was quite eccentric in his own way. So we were just like these two weird forces that just was never going to gel properly.
Yeah.
But one thing I did take away from there is like he actually did care. And there was like he let me into places where someone my age and my experience and my lack of university education, there's no way I'm seeing that. I spoke about it briefly before. Heads of companies, you know, GlaxoSmithKline, Pfizer, BP, British and American Tobacco, Eon and all that. You name them. I was in rooms with them.
Yeah.
You just see them work. Google, you're like just sitting there like, fuck, this is insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, this meeting is overrunning by 7 hours, but no one's blinking because they're just so focused.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to go home, I want to fuck off, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go have a beer. It's like, trust me, you'll never get this time ever again.
Yeah.
No job in the world, unless you're the secretary or the guy bringing the coffee into the meeting. Because with that attitude, you're never going to be a director, Heinrich. Yeah. Would you ever get this opportunity? You sit here and learn.
Yeah.
And I was like, fucking hell. And that did help. I don't think I'm that sort of naive to ever think that I'll be head of the board at Google maybe one day. But feeding and getting ideas of those people, right?
Yeah.
I always had this like, and he was the one who kind of like very quickly said to me like, you know what? You don't have to do what everyone says you have to do. You have to look for things that, you know, suit you. He says you don't have to come to an office every day if you don't want to.
Yeah.
She's like, you can work from home. There are places that are late. You just got to find it.
Yeah.
You're like, no, office, go office, must go office, 9 to 5 office, Monday, Friday office. You know, yes, boss office. And look, I've not been in office for fuck knows how long.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. I think that's the side, like I've worked for a lot of people that are, and had a lot of bosses, maybe not owners as such, maybe not the owners of the company, but the bosses that kind of don't want you to, they don't allow you to see too much or to do too much because they're worried that you'll overtake them. Like I get it at my place. There's a fella there that he kind of pushes everyone down because he knows that people can be above him. Yeah. So he pushes everyone down.
Insecurity, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, like my bosses, my owners, they've always been like, here is that thing of, here is enough rope to hang yourself. It's up to you whether you do or not. Like, we will give you every opportunity available. But if you fuck up, you fuck up.
Yeah.
But we'll give you the opportunity. You know, if you want to do it, and this is how you think it should be done, and this is what you want to do, then do it. But if it doesn't pay off, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
But we'll let you do it. Like, do what you think's right.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. Like, we've had a couple of things where I've disagreed with the way that they want to do things and said, like, I will leave. Like, I'll happily go with no hard feelings.
Yeah.
Because I don't think this is the right thing to do.
But it's work, though, isn't it? At the end of the day. I mean, like, we're
the
all
thing
there.
That you're all there to make, you know, either the company more money or to create a brand name or you go to work to achieve something collectively, you know. So you're all there for the same outcome. And well, I think that's one of the main things that I will say, because we've had to employ a lot of people recently. We've had a lot of staff, you know, turn round. It's very hard to find people that want to achieve. And I don't mean like make money and things like that, but it's very hard to find people. Like for me, when I started in this company, I was a picker and packer, doing picking and packing, earning fuck all money. But I always thought, well, if I pick and pack for a bit, and then I can do this, and then I can do that, and then this opportunity will open up, and then I can do this, and if the company starts making money, then I'll go on to this, and I'll go on to that, and it was never like, oh, I'm a picker and packer. Oh, I'm just this is shit.
That's such a good point, mate.
You know, it's hard to find people that. And I had it. There was one fella, and it was I'd never been a manager before, and I ended up being warehouse manager. And there was one fella there. He was older than me. He was fucking 6 years older than me. He was He was a Romanian fella. Spoke really good English. Been here since he was a kid. But he worked fucking so hard. But he was one of these people that he'd kind of sort of, because of maybe his background and the way that, you know, he was perceived as like a Romanian immigrant and all this sort of stuff, that he'd kind of just sort of like thought, this is as good as it's going to get for me. You know, just kind of like a menial job, picking and packing and that. But he worked hard, harder than anyone else there. And I sat him down and I said to him, like, you can achieve more than now. I said, you just have to give it time. I said, like, you know, we're a small company, but I said, like, basically, I said to him, I'll take you with me. As I get promoted, you'll have my job. That's what I see. And he left like 3 months later because he got offered a job earning more money as like a labourer on a building site. And I just thought, and then I look at where I am at now, and I just think you could have come with me on that, you know, but you just didn't have the foresight of like, I'll put in the effort now and I'll stick it out and I'll grind it. And I'm not saying that I'll stay where I'm at, but I've put myself into a position that when I do move, I don't have to be a picker and packer anymore. Yeah. If I'd have left back then, I'd have to have been a picker and packer. I wouldn't have had the experience that I've got now to take a job on the level that I'm at. Yeah. And it's that foresight of like, it's hard to find people that want to do that now. They kind of want to leave school or leave university and be earning $100,000 a year. Yeah. And it's like...
No. And I think that's a millennial thing. That's more a generational thing than it is anything else.
Oh, I've lost you. Oh no, we're down. Right, that's it. Pack it all in. Podcast is over.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back, yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Completely, the mic just died on its arse. All right, don't touch that.
Don't touch anything.
No, I think that's a really good point, because you can find a lot of people that will. If you take the concept of a job versus a career, right? There's an argument to be made that one is completely different from the other. Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on how you perceive.
Exactly. I disagree. I think every job can be a career if you just think outside of the box a bit and you go, right, well, I'm a road sweep, and it's like, right, so my knowledge is in how to clean roads, right? So then if you apply that knowledge to, you know, the people higher up and say, I can make our workforce more efficient. And the reason we can do that is X, Y, and Z. And the reason I know that is because I've been doing it for 10 years. And I know where we, you know, what takes time to do and where we fall short. And because I don't see that happening a lot. I don't see people taking the experience that they've got in their seemingly, you know, minor jobs, their minor roles, and going, well, you know, and that's what I did. I was picking and packing, and it was like, well, how can we make this process better? And because I was doing it every day, I'll go, well, this takes time. It takes too long to do this. It takes too long to do that, but this needs to be moved. These products are best sellers. You need to move them closer to packing benches. You need to do this, you need to do that. And it's like, oh, Jesus, yeah, he's right. And then that's how I sort of progressed, is it's like I took what I had and what I'd learned and gone, well, if you change this, and I know that you should change this because I've been doing it this way, but it'd be better to do it this way. And they go, yeah, Jesus, all right, yeah, do that then. And then you do it and it works. And they go, well, what else? And then you know, instead of just going, oh, I don't care. I'm just going to come to work and just pack boxes because, you know, and then hopefully something turns up, or, you know, I'll just get another job and just get in these, you know, because then that's all you'll ever do. All you'll ever do is go from job to job, and you'll go from place, and you'll earn more money, you know, because generally when you move jobs, you'll earn more money, but you'll still be that level, if you know what I mean. You'll just be at a higher paid bracket of that level.
Yeah, it depends on your reason for leaving. Like, I think you're somewhat right. I don't think like, put it this way, like when I say career, it's like a career path, right? I think yours is you forged a career out of it.
I've had to.
Yeah, but like versus like your sort of traditional thing where I wish to be an accountant, so I'll start as a junior accountant and then work my way up to this and work my way up to that because I wish to be an accountant. But I don't think anyone kind of goes, right, career step number 1, picking and packing.
No.
I'm not trying to demean it.
No.
But like, I think with most people, you kind of like, this is what I've been given, let's make something out of it. And I agree with you there.
Yeah.
They're like, no, there's not a lot of people that do what you did. Because it's like, I just have to wait this out. That's kind of the sort of mindset a lot of the time. Like, I just need to get through this fucking day.
Yeah.
I just need to get through this day. And unless you have that kind of like idea in your head of like, well, you know, like you had with, well, how do I take this to the next step? And actually, I don't want to do this forever.
Yeah.
How can I make this work for here and here? And it's a difficult balance to strike.
Yeah.
Because if your sole motivation is commercial, like money, then yeah, moving frequently, you know, is going to be good for you. But like, it's short term. It's a gamble, basically.
And it has its limitations because, especially if you've got sort of my background, so you're a bit different because you work in IT and you specialise in a certain subject within IT. So as long as you keep up to date with that, you can always progress because you're always needed. Do you see what I mean?
In a way.
Whereas with me and my background, it was always, you know, it was always manual jobs. It was always like, you know, I can use a hammer. I'm pretty good with my hands.
Yeah.
It was so like I was fitting tow bars. First job I had was fitting tow bars, and then I was like an engineer, like done fibre optics and things like that. And you know, I'd been working on building sites, a roofer and brickies, mate, and all of this sort of stuff. But I quickly sort of realised that that's all I'd ever do. You know, is I could move and I could be like a hod carrier. And don't get me wrong, they earn good money. Like they do all right. But I thought, I don't want to do that till I retire. Yeah. Like, that's not what I want to do. And it was like, well, or I could fit tow bars for the rest of my life. But I ain't really going to earn great money. And I can move from company to company. And, you know, if I'm really good at it, then I'll... But there's always... I'll always be that level of, like... I'm always limited because I'd have no experience in being a manager.
Yeah.
Of being, you know, a director, of being... I'd have no experience in that. I'd always ever have an experience of being good with my hands.
Yeah.
That would be my level. So, for me, it was I have to take what I've got and try and get something. So, whereas now, if I left my place, I wouldn't have to stay in that industry, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't have to stay.
That's true, and I think that's where...
I could take what I've learned and move it to something else.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the harder things with IT. You'll always be stuck in that in that field, in that you know, sector as such. And I think with sales, a lot of skills do cross-pollinate.
Yeah.
But, like, I suppose the essence of the whole argument for me is, though, that I think moving in... I believe in this 3-year rule. Looked at my LinkedIn profile, I've been nowhere longer than 3 years.
Yeah,
ever.
so you mean you have very different theories when it comes to...
But they've both been pretty successful. So, like, I think it's one or the other, right?
Yeah.
And I think, like, it depends, because the difference between what I do, well, my approach and your approach, right, it's like, I can't find what I'm looking for here, right? My company isn't going to give it to me.
Yeah.
Or they've promised they'll give it to me later, isn't good enough.
Yeah.
I want it now.
Yeah.
All right, I want it now, so I'll go look for it. And if I find somewhere that meets my criteria, because every job has been a step up in one way or another.
Yeah.
All right, and it's always been progression. I want this now. I'm now ready for this.
Yeah.
All right, when can I have it? Now? 3 months. I'm out.
Yeah.
I want it now. All right, or we're within reason though.
But that's what I mean. You were in a position to do that, and I would have done that if I was in that position. I would have gone, no. Like but you've got history of being able to do your job, whereas I haven't. So like I say, I had history of being a picker and packer, so I could leave and go to somewhere and do picking and packing. But even when I got promoted to like warehouse manager, I couldn't then leave and go, well, I'm going to go be a warehouse manager somewhere else, because they'd look at it and go, well, you're only warehouse manager for 2 months. Like, you know.
Yeah,
I had no history in it, so it was like, well, I kind of had to go. I took promotions and I took a better job on paper, but the money was never never equaled it. It's starting to get there now, but
but I had
to do that in terms of Now I'm at a stage where I could go to a place and go, look, this is some legitimate figures that I have done, you know. But now I'm not even, and I think the good thing is I'm not even thinking about moving work. I'm thinking that if I ever leave my place, it will be to do something for myself. I don't now want a job because I feel like what I've learned from what I've done, I think, fuck, if I did that for myself, if I did all the shit that I'd gone through, but did it for myself, like I'd be doing all right now.
Yeah. So I think fundamentally the actual differences between our industries, right? And I'll say this because this is something I fucking truly believe in. When you come to like this IT field, right? There are certain things where in my line of work, experience is actually detriment to yourself.
Yeah, because it's like it moves so quickly.
Yeah, some guy who's got 15 years experience fixing hardware don't need
irrelevant.
You anymore. Don't want you anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Some guy's got 15 or 5 years experience working on something from 2012.
Yeah,
don't want you.
Yeah,
all right. Someone who's got whole years of experience doing something in 2015.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's like being able to fix fucking VHS machines
because it's a skill. That's the thing, right?
Yeah,
it's like and. The only way to somewhat compare it, right, is to like you look at footballers, right? No one is turning around and saying like, "You've not got 15 years experience playing football. You can't play for United."
Yeah,
like it's the similar
or
sort
like
of thing
signing
in IT.
Diego Maradona.
Yeah,
because he's
got all this experience, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like in certain industries, I can understand. Yes, that might make sense and stuff like that. But I'm in a skills-based job.
Yeah,
right. Those old guys, right, with like in IT who needed like certain certificates, and I've got 10 years working on Windows servers, and you kind of go, yeah, that was really valuable, right?
Yeah.
In the late 2000s.
Yeah.
Right, even in early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
You kind of go, yeah, that would have been really valuable. It means fuck all now.
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
You're a dinosaur,
and that's why I could not be in your. I could not be in your sector.
But I love it because like what I like about it is, right, it keeps you on your fucking toes.
Yeah.
These days, right, unfortunately, and what a lot of guys are finding out, there's nowhere to hide.
No.
You are either gonna like make sure you will fuck yourself up by outskilling yourself by accident.
Yeah.
All right? Because you're gonna be like, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's IT. It will become redundant in months, if not years.
And that is one. Here we go. It's a fact, not fact. It's not a fact, so it's not a fact of the day. But this can be a
semi-tip,
a tip of the day,
food for thought of the day.
Tip of the day is learn as much as you can about the industry that you're in. And what I mean by that is like that thing. Don't focus on like if your job is if you're at McDonald's and your job is to make burgers, right? Don't just focus on making the burgers. Like, learn every facet of what everyone does. Have an overall view of what your company does.
That's not bad advice.
And that's what I did. Like, there's no one at my company that knows more about the company than I do, apart from the owners, because I've done everything. I've worked in the warehouse. I've run the warehouse. I've done purchasing. I've worked in sales. I've done everything.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to. It was like, oh, we need someone to do this. Yep, I'll do it. I need someone to do that. I'll do it. I've done everything because it was like, because now I'm in a position where I know how everything works. So if I have to make a decision based on, just getting a new product, it's like, well, how are we going to ship it? Like, how much is it going to cost? How much is the packaging going to cost? How long will it take to pack? All of these things I can do myself because I've done it.
Yeah.
So instead of having to go to this person to find out how much it will cost to pack it, to this person to where we can stock it, where we can store it, how much this is going to cost, how much that's going to cost, I'll do it all myself because I've done it. So they're loving it because it's just like, right, we need to sell this. How much is it going to cost us? All right. And I work it out. It's £2.50 to send this, and it's for the boxes of £1 and this and that. That's how much it's going to cost. And they're like, brilliant. They haven't got to go around because I didn't just focus on what I was doing. It was always, right, what else can I learn? And that it can be detrimental in a way because it meant that I never really specialised in anything. I was never the best at it. So like when it come to like purchasing, I wasn't great at it because I was always like, well, what's going on over here? Like, I want to know about that. Like, I know about this now. I ain't really too interested about this. I want to do this. What's this about? I want to do this bit. So it's difficult to get that balance of, but I wouldn't just focus on what you do. Because like you say, in your industry, you're fucked. If you go, right, I'm going to learn everything I can about Windows 10. Like, everything. That's what I'm going to focus on. I know the ins and outs of it. I know everything. Next year, they bring out fucking Windows fucking whatever.
That's the beauty of it. It's now Windows as a service, my friend.
Well, yeah, no, they've changed the whole fucking business model.
Windows 10 will be there forever, but Windows 10 updates itself every 4 months.
Yeah.
So you need to be upskilling yourself every 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's what I mean. It's like, I know everything about it. Like Excel. Like, I know everything about Excel. Like, yeah, everything there is to know. What do you know about Word? Nothing. Oh, well, you're useless to me then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a fair assessment, and I think like we'll probably close on this, right? It's like with all that said and done, right? Understanding your business, what you're in, what you're about, what you're doing, right? Like there's 2 things you should do, right? I think or 3 things. Number 1 is what you suggested. Understand, Sue in HR's job.
Yeah. What
she's got to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. Dave in finance. He's got a hard day ahead of him. Understand his role. Ask him, what'd you do? How does it work? Not a bad idea. I like that idea, right? Second thing is, right, when you're sitting in front of your desk or whatever it is the fuck you're doing, right, are you happy with it?
Yeah.
Is this as far as you want to go? Do you have a plan for next year?
Yeah.
All right, next month. What are you saying in your one-to-one? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Right? And then the third thing, and we should close on this, right, is realise that the likelihood is your job is fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking pointless.
Yeah.
Because if you break it down, right, I'm in an IT. It's completely unnecessary what I do. Completely unnecessary.
I'm in a luxury market.
Yep.
What I sell, you don't need.
No, you don't need it. Right? You don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't need it.
Mine's classed as a luxury good.
I tell people what other companies make where there's already information about it.
Yeah.
Basically, if you break down my job to what it is.
You could do your job with a laptop and Google.
There you go. There you go.
Like I could do your job now and go, I need something that does this.
Yeah.
Google it. Oh, this bit of software does that.
There you go. That's literally the fundamental of what you're doing, right? You need to just know that. I think the one thing that we lack more than any other generation I've ever fucking know of, right, is fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like, this is my passion. Because it ain't.
No.
Is selling wood burners your passion?
No.
The irony is, right, my passion once upon a time was IT.
Yeah.
And I quickly realised, like, I like it instead of love it now.
And I think
it's like a girlfriend that you've had for too long, but you're fat and she's the only thing you'll sleep with.
But that's the thing. I think, and you're right. But it's like anything. Like I've just seen it in a corner, so I'll use it as an analogy. But it's like playing a guitar, right? You love playing a guitar, so you do it like 10 hours a day. Eventually, you're going to get bored of that shit. And you don't want to play the guitar anymore.
Yeah.
Like, but what I will say is, if you've got to have a goal every single time. You've got to have large goals going forward of what you want to achieve, but you've also got to have, in a way, daily goals. And it's like, for me, yeah, it's not my dream to sell stoves.
No.
But for me at the minute, it's like, right, I want to make $1 million. I want to turn over $1 million in sales. And I've done it. And it's like, right, now I want to make 2 million. Right? That's now my goal. I want to make 2 million. I want to turn I want to turn my company into a £5 million company. That's my goal. But that's not what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Like at the minute, that's what I focus on. It's like that's what I want to achieve. How do I achieve that? Right, this is what I've got to do. And then once I get there, I'll assess it. So it's like if I get to 2 million and I go, 5 million can't be made, then I assess it and I go, well, what is my next goal? What do I want to do? And I think that's what people don't have. People don't have that. This is just for now. Like everyone, I think people think too much. They think too much about tomorrow, and it's like just getting through today for tomorrow. Tomorrow will be better. No, it won't.
No.
Not if you don't do anything today. It won't. Tomorrow is going to be the same as today was.
Yeah. Unless
today you go, right, what do I want to do tomorrow? Where do I want to be tomorrow? Right, that's what I want to do. So this is what I've got to do today to achieve it. So It could, like I say, it could be anything. You could be working in McDonald's and you go, well, tomorrow I want to be, and I use tomorrow usually. I mean it as in the future. I want to be manager. What do I have to do now to be because you're not just going to be made manager.
You work backwards, right? You look at the job you want and you work backwards. Okay,
yeah.
I need 3 years to do this, 1 year that. I need that certificate, that qualification,
exactly.
Whatever the case may be, and the following skills.
But you break that down because that can be daunting, and that's one thing I've learned from what I do, is that I always sort of had ideas of companies that I wanted to start and all this sort of stuff, and I thought, fucking hell, that's a lot of work and it's a lot of risk, and and then I look at what I've done. And I go, when I started doing what I was doing, I was thinking, fuck, that's a lot. Like, that's a lot I've got to do. Like, they want me to earn a lot of money. And, I'm starting from pretty much nothing. And I've got no experience in it. I've never done this before. Never had a sales job. I've never worked at a desk before. Like, shit. And it's, like, daunting. And then I look back, I've been doing it, a year and a half? I go, fuck. Like, look at what I've done. And that's because every day you just go, right, what have I got to do today? Right, I've got to set up an account today.
Yeah.
Today I've got to make phone calls and set up an account.
Take some risks, worry about it later.
So you just make phone calls, set up an account. Right, what have I got to do tomorrow? Right, tomorrow I've got to set up another account.
Yeah.
Right, by the end of the week you've got 5 accounts and they're all spending. And you go, fucking brilliant. Let's go, right, next week. Next week I want to make 7 accounts. So it means for 2 of them days I've got to open 2 accounts. Right, fuck. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to break it down and go, right, what is achievable today to get me where I'm at? And I think kids don't do that these days. Well, I didn't. This is a recent discovery.
It's a piece of wisdom. That's wisdom. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's some wisdom.
That is. That is.
Bob's wisdom.
I'm a wise guy.
I'm a wise guy.
I'm a wise guy. I'm a wise guy, see?
Wise guy, hey. Now, hey.
But yeah, no, and I think that's. I was talking about it the other day, and I was thinking, like, I was saying that's what I want to pass on to like my son. It's not so much. Don't worry about. It's going to sound bad, but don't worry about education as such. Be intelligent. You don't have to be educated, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense, Bob.
So I wouldn't class myself as educated. Didn't get good grades. I'm not book smart as such. But I'm intelligent.
So you sound like a fucking retard now.
So what I mean by that is I couldn't tell you what the capital of fucking India is.
You serious?
It was Pakistan, isn't it? I don't know. Exactly. It proves my point.
That's disgusting that you don't even...
Exactly. My geography is terrible. I can't spell either. Spelling, rubbish.
The capital of India is Pakistan.
I don't fucking know.
That is the most ridiculous bullshit you've ever fucking said. Are you play acting right now? Are you fucking me off?
I don't know what it is, right?
That's embarrassing.
But
I don't even know you anymore.
But what I mean is that, like, I can use my intelligence to get me where I want to go without having to know that shit. Someone else can know that shit. I don't need to know that. It's irrelevant to me. But, obviously education is massively important and kids stay in school. But what I mean is don't worry too much about it. Because it's like, as long as you can think logically, then you'll be all right.
Yeah, I think
that's
a good foundation. Like,
we're not taught to think logically. We're taught that 2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 3 quick math. But that's what we're taught. We're not taught as why is 2 + 2. Like we're told the answers. We're not told how to find the answer.
And I agree. And I think like that in itself is a massive debate in itself, in its own right, because it's like, well, who writes the rules of what is common sense? Who writes the rules of logic? And who writes the rules of this, that, and the other? Because something logic to you.
Well, you write your own rules on it.
Well, that's the thing. So there, by definition, it's not a universal rule. So common sense, then it means nothing, right?
But you can have 2 intelligent people that differ on opinion.
That's the difference of opinion. But common sense, like, would then be like that's.
In some ways,
that's a wide.
Like, it's common sense not to jump in a massive hole, and most people would agree with that. and the people who don't agree with that are dead because they jumped in the hole.
But what if the hole's the escape? Like you can throw so many different scenarios at it. What I'm saying to you is like it's the widely accepted truth or the widely accepted option. Most people would agree with this, therefore we can say it's common sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of what common sense means.
Yeah.
Roughly speaking, right? But someone else's idea that deviates from that, which maybe it's a better solution, you don't know. At first you're going to go, well, no, common sense would dictate this, right? But, maybe doing something else is worth doing.
But that's where what I mean, thinking logically
exploring
comes in.
Yeah, but exploring those objects. But not even just logically, sometimes just thinking outside the box or experimenting maybe could also be a good thing, which goes against the idea of common sense entirely.
Yeah. No.
Of course it does.
It's all mixed, I think. It's all mixed. Because what I mean is you wouldn't go, I wonder if this gunpowder, if put in, if I stick it in my arse, if I stick this gunpowder in my arse and set a light to it, I wonder what would happen. Like, what's going to happen. It's going to burn your arsehole out. But so expect that experiment isn't valid because it's not logical. You haven't thought it through. It's like, well, this is combustible and I'm sticking it in my arsehole. Like, this is a silly thing.
But so the question is then, do you know it's combustible?
Yeah, because it's gunpowder, isn't it?
Right.
Like, we know what gunpowder is, don't we?
Yeah, but you're making assumptions here.
Well, then then maybe that's where book smarts come in. Because if you haven't read about gunpowder, you don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Shit.
See my point?
Oh shit.
Have I turned the light on in there somewhere?
I should go back to school, shouldn't I?
Well, it's not just that, right? I think education is important. But let's not forget, right? Like, me and my mum had this massive argument once, and ironically, it was about sperm. Now, let me finish, right?
Did you put it on her face again?
It was, yep. What a Sunday that was, right? It was. I think it was like a homework question, and it was to do with biology, and I think I just wanted to say it to be gross. I was like, "What kind of questions do they ask you?" So like, how much sperm's in a teaspoon? Just to shock her, or just to kind of get a reaction out of my mum. Yeah. Mum was like, yeah, well, there's hundreds, isn't there? I was like, no, it's millions. I'm pretty sure it's millions. Like, no. It's hundreds, Heinrich. I should know. I know what I'm talking about. And she was like, and then we argued about it in the car, but the argument got really heated. And it's only like literally, I think a couple of days later, she had her old school books, and in there it states hundreds. Yeah. Right. It's like QI, for example. People quote shit from QI. Yeah. Right. But Stephen Fry said that like over each series, like 30 to 40% of the information they had changes or is now wrong, or so like it's an ever evolving thing. I think education is important, but
they reckon from the time a doctor starts university, and then so he passes, and then 5 years in the job, 60% of what he learned is untrue. So 60% of what a doctor has learned from 6 years at university?
I don't know how long it is.
I think it's 6 years.
It's long.
I think it's 6 years and then 5 years into that job, so 11 years. So from the university, 11 years later, 60% of what they've learned is now untrue. Like, as a doctor.
It's a hell of a stat, that.
Yeah. Like, it's mad. 60%. Because, obviously, technology and science moves on at such a rate that what was true back then is now not true. That's not the best practice. That's not the best way of treating that. Like, they know that now. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. They are wrong. But they were taught right at the time. You know what I mean?
Well, the information's changed or been corrected.
The information at the time was correct. Yeah. That was what they, that was their best shot at it. That was, this is what we think is the best way. Yeah. And it's like, actually, that's not the best way anymore. That's why you've killed thousands of people. Yeah. But
like, here's the thing, though, right? With common sense, we got asked this in science, right? And it was one of those times, and it was massively split. And at the time, I kind of had to really think about my answer. They said, which is deadlier? Have you been asked that? Like the
I'm intrigued.
Like the shot glass full of poison,
right?
Or the shot glass full of water that kills 1 in 10,000 people. Which is more dangerous?
So you got shot glass full of venom.
A shot glass that, if it was taken, would kill you instantly, or the shot glass of water that kills 1 in 100,000 people, or whatever.
What is more deadly?
Which is deadlier?
Well, the venom.
See, but so like a lot of people said that. Like, I did an answer, so I listened to the answers everyone else gave. I didn't really know what to say. Yeah. Like instinct was kind of like, oh, it's definitely the venom.
Well, the venom surely kills 100% of people.
Yeah, but the idea is it's taken once, right? So something like, for example, if this was out, like the common sense argument that the teacher was trying to make was, right, is that if this venom we know is venom because it will kill us instantly, so we won't touch that. So we go, that is bad, cut that off, right?
Yeah.
But something that kills 1 in 100,000
across
a population of 6
because
billion,
that could kill more people in the long run.
Yeah,
because they don't know that it's the water.
So which is more dangerous?
With you. People are not drinking the venom.
Yeah.
We know it's deadly. Clever. I like it.
But you see, but the common sense would say, oh, it's the venom, when it's actually, well, no, let's think a bit further than just
I'm with you. Because one person would drink the venom and go, like, it's killed him. No one drink the venom.
Don't fucking touch it.
And then you could have, like, 10 years of people drinking the water and people just dying, like, 1% of them.
Yeah.
And no one really knows.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many times does 100,000 go into 6 billion?
Yeah.
Quite a lot, really. You know, so you would have multiple deaths, or even 1 in a billion. By definition, would kill 6 people versus the 1, and would go completely undetected. So therefore, the water that would kill 1 in 6 billion, well, 1 in a billion, is actually worse than the poison.
It's clever that.
See,
it's clever
so that was the argument at the time. Was
I'll
like
give you that one.
Was like, well, what then is common sense in science? So it's like, okay, you can't then necessarily stress common sense in science. There's a scientific method, experiment, evidence.
By the way, it'd be poison, not venom.
Whatever the case may be.
But venom wouldn't kill you.
Oh, there's some venoms that would definitely kill you, Bob. Yeah. Snake venoms, there's a lot out there that would kill you instantly.
Yeah, but it's like... hold on. Got it totally wrong, don't worry.
Yeah, I know you did.
Don't worry, got it wrong.
You did get it wrong.
Yeah. No, I was going to say something smart about, like, venom and poison. But the both, if you drunk them, would definitely kill you.
Yeah, so whatever you wish.
Don't drink venom or poison.
Or poison.
Don't.
Just we'll leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, it's as I said, like it. I mean, like a lot of like the sort of general ignorances that we go through day by day, with a small amount of thought.
I think I might be right, but okay.
With a small amount of thought, like you can very quickly either alter that opinion, or lose and drop it entirely. But it's the actual definition of that is like it can't then be a belief. Like if you can be swayed by evidence, then you have to accept it. Which then kind of goes by. I mean, how ignorant would a doctor be if he was like, no, I won't. Everything I've been taught is true.
Yeah,
I believe it.
And we bring it up every time we do this. But that's why I dislike religion.
Yeah,
because you can't sway them. No. You can't sway them. And I don't think that's a redeeming feature. People think, oh yeah, it's good. Like they stand by their beliefs. No, it's not good.
No.
If what you believed turned out that it was bad, then surely you'd have to change. And I'm not saying religion's bad, but what I mean is like to not be swayed in your beliefs. Like if someone said to me, like if someone went, every time you go on Facebook, you press your @ button, a kid dies in Africa. I go, really? And if it was true, if they went, yeah, here's the proof, I go, oh, fuck, I ain't using that anymore. Whereas, like, if you said to someone, like, every time you pray, kid dies in Africa, they go, no.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things you'd have to get rid of to have, if you wanted to have like a fruitful argument, right, where I think like you could maybe get in some way. The first thing you have to take out is belief.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to have to go based on evidence, right? And then the other thing, for me, for example, if you ask me what would it... I have an answer for what would you need in order to be convinced that, you know, God is real, or Allah is real, or whoever is real, right? I could probably give you a couple of things. Say, if you show me this, and this, and this, and this, then I probably would have to then believe. But then that doesn't mean I would be converted to that religion. Like, I would believe that, okay, actually, no, there is probably a God. But he's still a cunt in my eyes.
Exactly.
But, like,
exactly.
That in itself is a completely separate argument.
Yeah.
But most religious people won't have the reverse. If they say, if you can show me the following, most of them, the following. For example, Elvis, there's nothing you can show him. No. Nothing.
No.
Not a single thing.
And that's the problem. And that is the problem, is that there is so much evidence for the non-existence of a god or gods. Like, there's so much evidence for the fact that they do not exist. right? You can't definitely say it. There's not enough evidence to categorically say there is no deities, there is no such thing as a god or gods. And that's what they cling to. They cling to that, well, you can't prove it. And you go, well, you can't prove it. Like, prove to me that God exists. Oh, well, I can't. It's a belief, isn't it? Well, you know, exactly. At least I've got some evidence. At least what I believe is based on some fact.
Yeah.
Yours is based on none. It's based on purely belief. And it's very difficult to argue with someone about that.
Well, it's not even an argument, then, is it?
No.
It's not a debate. Put it that way. It's an argument. It's not a debate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a tough one because they are solely. It's like something comes over them.
Yeah.
It's like something in the head clicks.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't listen to anything reasonable here, or don't consider anything to be a reasonable argument.
Yeah.
Only your arguments are true.
Like I have some respect for people that. No, I have a lot of respect for people that, you know, that believe in God, but are still. But they know that it's a belief. Do you know what I mean? You get them people that know that they can't prove it, and they know that they might be wrong.
It's a hunch.
Yeah,
it's a hunch.
They know they might be wrong, but they would rather live their lives and be wrong than not believe it.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's like perfectly fine. As long as you know that it's not based on fact.
Yeah.
As long as you know that it's a belief.
Yeah.
Then that's perfectly fine. If you want to go, yeah, no, I can't prove it, but I think it's right. I think it's right. Yeah. And that's how, you know.
I can take that. Where I fall off the wagon is around morality. People saying you can't be moral without it.
It winds me up.
That is the worst thing, because I think that is one of the few things I find quite offensive, because it's like how big of an insult are you paying yourself by saying, I wouldn't know what right and wrong is.
I would be killing people right now.
I'd be killing and raping children if thank God some Arab wrote it down in the desert 2,000 years ago. Because if he didn't, the world would be. Yeah. And it's like, really?
And it's them thing. It's that you get them people that look down on you because you do or say things that are not, that to them are considered, you know, taboo, or things that shouldn't be said, or jokes that shouldn't be made, and they look down on you for it, and you think, what are you talking about? Like, they say that the most judgmental people you will find in a church, if you're not part of that religion, they are the most judgmental people, and they could, from any religion. If you walked into a mosque and you started doing things that Muslims don't do, eating a bacon sandwich, they would look at you like you are wrong. If you walked into a church, like a Catholic church, with a crucifix upside down, they would look, and it is wrong, you shouldn't do that, don't do it, like it is disrespectful, but it's not wrong. It's not like... Well,
it wouldn't be tolerated, would it?
Because to me, I'm not going to hell for that. Because to me, it's irrelevant. It's a nothing thing to do, eating a bacon sandwich or a crucifix upside down, because they hold no relevance to me. They hold no symbolic... it's nothing to me, but to them, I'm lesser because of it. But what they do, which I think is stupid, I don't think any less of them. And that's what annoys me with that thing of, oh, you've got no morals, and it's like, no, I don't look down on you for anything that you do, whereas you look down on me for the things that I do.
So I'll be honest, like, I think there's a part of me that I lose a little bit of respect for people the minute they say they'll pray for you, or that they pray. I kind of feel like you're an idiot, and I do look down on them for that. I'm just going to say it. I'll try not to show it, but I do think, like, if you're praying, I kind of feel like you're a fucking idiot. But if it gives you comfort, by all means, let it give you your comfort. But I still think that you're a dumb motherfucker.
It's the same thing for me. Is that if someone said, and I've got family who say it to me, you know, I'll pray for you and all of that, and a part of me is like, don't bother.
No.
Like, why would you do that? It's irrelevant. Because in many respects, what's the point in praying for someone who's not religious? Because I'm going to hell anyway. If they're right, like, say my nan, for instance, is right, and God exists, and she's going to pray for me, don't bother. because I'm going to hell because I'm a non-believer.
Yeah, you're destined there anyway.
So don't even waste that prayer. Pray for something else, because it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because I'd get to the pearly gates and I'd go, fuck, I was wrong. And he goes, yeah, you were wrong. You were wrong, prick. You know what I mean?
But I kind of feel like if let's
fuck off.
But like, at least you'd be honest and kind of go, well, you know, I didn't believe in you because there was fuck all evidence. Number one. Plus, I've not actually done anything that bad.
Why the fuck didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me?
You could have made this so much easier.
You've gone around it. It's such a roundabout way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just show up with your head in a cloud and go, everyone, I exist.
Yeah.
Carry on with your lives.
There you go. But the praying thing is something that drives me. It's like Christopher Hitchens, when people used to say to him, like, I'll pray for you. And he used to like respond, say, well, and I'll think for you. Like,
it's a great response.
Yeah, it's a great response, you know? It's like, it's awesome. Basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, the whole thing to me is laughable.
Yeah.
The whole thing to me is laughable.
Someone said to me the other day that, because I said to her, do you think prayers work? And she said, yes. Yes, they do. She said, they've worked for me before. And I said, that's fine. I said, has there ever been a time that you've prayed for something and you haven't got it? And she said, what do you mean? I said, well, has there ever been a time that, you know, you might have prayed for a family member to, you know, survive, or you might have prayed for anything and it hasn't happened? That family member's then died, and she said, yeah, no, it's happened. I said, well, what do you think about that then? Why do you still then pray if the outcome is, you know? And she said, well, it's God's will, and he has a plan for all of us, and what I was praying for might not be part of his plan. So then it's irrelevant. Stop praying. Stop praying then.
It's a pretty silly thing to do then.
I said, you've proved yourself wrong that prayers work.
Yeah.
Because it's irrelevant. If you are right and God exists, but he has a plan, stop praying.
Stop bothering him.
If you go like, oh, please let me get this job, and his plan is like, you ain't getting that job. Yeah. You think you're getting that job? You ain't fucking idiot. Hey, that's not what I've got planned for you. That's not what I've got planned. You ain't getting the job. You ain't getting it. Don't stop praying then. It's irrelevant. Like, just go, all right, mate. Just look after me, would you? You know, whatever your plan is, just make sure it's right, please.
Don't
you know
what
I mean? I ain't going to keep bothering you.
But even
with my prayers.
Even by that definition, like, part of his plan would be you having that prayer in the first place.
Exactly.
Part of his plan is you bothering him for shit you're not going to get.
And it's quite easy to trick them.
Yeah. To
trick them that way and go, right, okay, no, that's fine, and that's you believe. But then if it doesn't work, why does it? And then they shut down. Then as soon as I said that to her, she shuts down and she gets defensive and she gets angry and she's like, what? And she's like, but it makes me feel better. Fine, then fine.
Stick to it.
Then, if it makes you feel better, it's fine. But don't make out like it's important and like it means something, because it doesn't.
Don't mean shit.
Because you've proven that it's irrelevant.
Don't mean shit.
So, crack on and pray. But, we both know, and me and the big man up there, we know, you ain't getting that job for shit.
No, Allah ain't responding.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck. He ain't got no plan for you.
He's got his out of office.
If you were fucking Allah, would you really be worried about what fucking Musef is doing?
No.
No, you don't give a fuck.
No, you got other shit.
He's got, well, especially Allah. He's got some fucking problems right now.
Syria to sort out.
Yeah, he's got some real fucking issues at the minute.
I bet if he is real, he's like, oh shit, these fuckers are crazy.
Because I was going to write a book. Did I tell you about the book I was going to write? Well, how long have we been going now? So we stop this soon. But
I don't even know how long we've been going for. To be honest with you, we have been going for hour and.
Fucking over an hour, man. It's mad.
A few hours.
But anyway, I was writing this fucking... I was going to write this book. And it's basic that all gods exist. Right? So all of them. Allah, Buddha, fucking
Zeus,
God,
Thor,
Zeus, Thor. They all exist. Right? Odin. They all exist. And basically the story is that they all created the earth together. Like loads of them. Thousands of the fuckers, right? All the Egyptian gods and the Norse gods and all of them, right? And they all created the earth. But they created the earth and said, like, right, we're going to make man. And they designed man and all of this. And then they're right, but we don't tell them anything, right? We don't tell them we exist. We just let them get on with it, right? And see what happens, right? We can't take credit for this, Just let it go, right? So it's like, yeah, fine. But then like some of the gods start, you know, dropping little hints here and there, you know, going, I want to be fucking recognised for this shit. So like, you know, fucking the old like Hebrew gods and that, and the old fucking Egyptian gods start fucking dropping, and then like all the other gods fucking see it, and they go, fucking, I'm going to get involved in some of this shit. And then it's basically a big fucking war up there of all of them trying to convert, go, no, I'm the one true God. No, I'm the one true God. And it's about them warring with each other and using people to do their, you know, to get their name as number one God. It's a good idea, isn't it?
That's a good idea. Someone's going to take that.
It's a good fucking idea. If you take it, I want 5%.
Yeah. That and the post-it that says run.
Yeah, because that's another good idea.
One of the best fucking time travel stories ever.
Yeah. That's a good idea, isn't it? That'd be a good story. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so fucking, like the Norse mythology, like, they had their time now. You know what I mean? He fucked up. Old Odin and Thor and that, they fucked up. They were going strong, you know? But they backed the wrong side. Didn't they? Because old fucking Jesus and that. See, that's where, like, Romans and stuff, that like they fucked up. Who were they? Who were their gods? Were they the Grecian gods as well, the Romans?
The Romans.
What did they have?
Good point.
To begin with,
they had stuff like
they had Mars and all that.
Mars and Hades,
Athena and that, or is that like?
And yeah, so
it was like, was it like kind of like the Greek mythology? I don't know.
Greek and Roman, yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, but then like, you know, but then fucking Jesus comes in, doesn't he? And he's like, nah, these fucking Romans, they've got a load of shit going on. Right, I'm converting them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So like, well, the God does that. He sends Jesus down. Starts converting them fucking Romans. Now look at Catholic Church. Biggest fucking religion in the world. God knows what he's doing. But now fucking old Hebrew's coming in, isn't he? Allah.
Hebrew, Jude, Hebrew. Not the same thing. Don't
Whoever,
get them confused.
Whoever. They're all over that side, aren't they? You know what I mean? Yeah. They're coming in with a vengeance right now. Yeah. You know? God's had his time.
Yeah.
I think this is my time.
Oh.
It's a good fucking idea, isn't it?
It's a powerful idea.
I'm just too lazy to write the book. You know?
Well, I think you could, if you go by the timelines and then kind of magically translate.
Well, I actually literally wrote out timelines of religions and that, and had like, you know.
There's thousands though.
There's so many.
But how would they be? Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah. And then it was like, about how the gods used men to make their name or their names, you know, the prominent.
Yeah, but I mean,
religion.
I think where Jesus fucked up is like having all these different denominations of the same religion fight each other.
Yeah, they're like
Catholics, Protestants, and all that sort of stuff. You kind of go, yeah, maybe you should be fighting for the same team.
Yeah, no, but that was he didn't plan that. You know, Henry VIII fucked him up. Henry VIII come in, wanted to fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
but who did that? Oh, maybe that's a little power play by Allah.
Maybe.
For
exactly.
Chubsy Wubsy.
Exactly. See, now you're on my level.
I'm on your level now.
You know?
Old
Allah got in his head. Allah got in Henry VIII's head.
That's and was like,
what do you mean you can't divorce? You're a king. You do what you want, mate.
And then Allah was like, you can have 9 wives.
Exactly.
You can decapitate them with a goat.
Exactly. But it kind of backfired on him a bit because old Henry was like, well, no, I still want to keep some of these bits. Some of these bits are good. Like,
I'm going to invade Jerusalem now.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. I'm starting a holy fucking war right now.
Shit. Son of a bitch.
It's a fucking good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, we should write it.
Yeah.
We should write it.
We're not going to, are we?
No. We could just about hold this fucking podcast together.
Someone out there write it and we'll.
But you know the best thing is, right? Like, if that does ever come out, we have documented proof that the original idea came from us.
Oh, exactly, and I'm suing them motherfuckers.
And we are suing. We will sue. Yeah. Any variation of this, we will take as ours.
Yeah. Like, because that is a grade A idea.
Grade A.
They'd make films out of that and everything. You know, like Clash of the Titans and that.
You could just have infinite numbers of sequels.
Yeah. It's an unreal idea.
Unreal.
I'm full of them. Daily. Just
pumping them out.
So many. So if I had like a massive like work ethic, I'd be fucking rich. I'd be minted.
Yeah. So would I.
But it's just I have these ideas. Just go, put that in a drawer somewhere.
Put it on the internet.
Yeah.
Put it on YouTube.
Let someone else do it.
Yeah.
Let someone else profit.
These are the breaks, kid.
Yeah.
These are the breaks. Well, we've had a good show, Bob.
We have. It's been long. I'm tired.
Yeah.
It's been, I'm very tired.
Do you want to... Shall we stop it?
Yeah, why not?
All right.
I think people will be bored of us now.